Everyone and welcome to Obedient Family TV. The program now Hope Alive. Yes, so Hope Day and plenty things that happen for Nigeria. First, we won't bring on the story where we say Tinubu troubles never end for Supreme Court. As another person don't carry and go Supreme Court for matter starting since 2019. So Tinubu's inauguration is now headed again to the Supreme Court. Question is, will the Supreme Court do as the law permits? That one we'll go hear from our own analyst, Maxwell, who will join us for Zoom. And we won't bring this story where we say the trend everywhere about waiting happen for Kaduna as army don't send their, whether not drone or been waiting, they don't send. Go buy people where we say then they just they jollificate. They do prayers for Kaduna State. Yet, when they take responsibility, nobody has resigned. What is happening? We go carry that one come. And plenty other news will be say it a break for Nigeria. Remember, as always, we are the opposition. We keep the government to its toes. This cabinet, this fraudulent government, so to speak, we must keep them on their toes. Whatever they do that is wrong, we bring it out and we try to mark them as they project it. So welcome to join us wherever on a day. Good morning, afternoon, and evening. No be only me there for studio. I get Angel for studio. I get our own Princess and our own UC Maxwell there for Zoom.
Good day, my well-meaning Nigerians, my lovely and intelligent, obedient worldwide. Welcome. Tell your neighbors, say hope day, but not in our politicians or in our leaders. My people, Nigeria is a joke, big one. How can you can mistakenly spill a water, mistakenly call someone, but how do you mistakenly bomb a whole village? How, my people? That is the question. Welcome on board. Let's discuss.
Greetings, well-meaning Nigerians and fellow obedient worldwide. Welcome back to Hope Alive. 126 civilians killed by the military, and it's as if nothing has happened. No flag flying halfway, no national mourning, nothing at all. Just arrogant silence. Which way, Nigeria? What is going on? Well, join us as we discuss more.
Yes, so if you join us for our comment section, make you no forget to like and subscribe and give us thumbs up. Every sane society knows that when, let's even take example of US, UK, and the likes. Even when you have just 3 people that are being shot down or something happen like that, you see the flag flying down. You will see the president coming out to give a decisive talk on it. But this one, now jollificate, will they see people where they for Dubai, with the hear say, then they enjoy for Dubai as in go cover 28. Even when you there for Dubai, you could let out a statement. But of course, our own His Excellency P2B has let out a statement. And that statement is a presidential statement that we expect, and we will come to that. But let's start with the information that is coming out that Tinubu is facing another Supreme Court matter. And what my question is, would justice come out of this, or what is the meaning of this very particular matter that seeks to nullify the inauguration of Tinubu? We have our own UC Maxwell, who has come to open up and explain to us what that procedure is and why Tinubu is now facing another Supreme Court judgment coming soon. So UC Maxwell, please welcome to the show, and let's get straight to this matter of Tinubu facing another presidential election judgment in Supreme Court. UC Maxwell, are you there? I can barely hear you. Okay. While we get to Maxwell, let's get back to the studio. What we have to get, Angel, I see you are very passionate about the situation of people in Kaduna State, and why would, as you expressed it, why would the military, upon their intelligence and all of that, leave out the terrorists that usually are not in the village, but go and strike people at the town, and then claim that they were yes, Maxwell, I can hear you. I can hear you now. So I don't know if I have to repeat my question or you got my question about Tinubu's going back to Supreme Court. Somebody has taken him to Supreme Court, and we need to get insight and of what is happening and why Tinubu is headed back to Supreme Court on a presidential election tribunal matter.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Kanu. Good evening to you and good evening to everybody who is listening. Now, the case that we are seeing here that has been taken to the court, which is founded on the doctrine of lis pendens, which is a Latin terminology, lis pendens, is a rule that probably prevents things from happening due to the pendency of a suit in the court, due to the pendency of the case in the court. So it is gotten from that word pendens, that is pending. Where a suit is pending at the court, some certain actions are prevented, from taking effect. What we are seeing here is not in relation to the 2023 presidential election. It is not. It relates to the 2019 presidential election, where a person had taken the APC to court questioning the election, and the court did not fully dispense of that case. The case was still pending, and they went ahead to swear in the person of Buhari in 2019, and then in 2023, they proceeded to swear in Bola Tinubu again as president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So the point he is arguing in court is that, that since this case had been existing and questioned a previous election, even before the election of Bola Tinubu, that Bola Tinubu should be precluded from holding the office of presidency, that he should be removed from office, he should be stopped from operating the federal account and parading himself as the president of the Federal Republic, of Nigeria. Now, this doctrine and the case of these people is that Bola Tinubu is very much aware, and the APC is very much aware that this case is still before the court. So what we are seeing here, Mr. Kanu, is a case where we still have an election case before our court in relation to the 2019 election, and 5 years after, is it 5 years now or 4 years after, we are now seeing that that case has not been fully dispensed with in the courts. This shows how our court systems operate. This shows the neglect for attending to issues when they are supposed to be attended to. Because it is already crazy to hear that, that there is still an election petition that questioned Buhari coming into office since 2019. That case was not finished. We came into 2021, 2022, a new electoral act was passed. That case was not still dispensed with, and we saw another election that brought Bola Tinubu into office. So what this case is just trying to do is they want to see that Bola Tinubu is removed from office because he has been aware of this case, and the case was supposed to be dispensed with. Because if this case now is finalized, it means that if the court, because there's a probability that the court can declare this Chief Gilbert Ambrose Owuru, who has this case before the court, there's every possibility that the court can declare him a winner. There is a probability. that exists. So if the court can declare him a winner, on which election, an election that the time frame for holding office has already been exhausted by Buhari from 2019 to 2023. So these are the difficulties and the intricacies in this particular case before the court.
Okay, Maxwell. So, but again, judging from what is going on right now, as the justices of the Supreme Court are biased and they are APC, so to speak, do you think anything coming out of this, or this is just another jamboree and spending money with this thing, especially as I don't know whether this case is related to Olani Pekun or something like that. So that is SAN, that one that I thought worked for Tinubu or APC, as the case might be. So do you see anything coming out of this, judging from the stance of the Supreme Court presently constituted?
Anything coming out from what exactly, sir? I didn't get you clearly.
From this Supreme Court, we know they are APC. They are very loyal. You can see what is on the screen, that even the Chief Justice of Nigeria is bowing to the chairman of APC. So do you see anything coming out from the Supreme Court, or this is another jamboree of our wasted time going to court?
Well, Mr. Kanu, these cases, I don't want to be caught in the web of predicting what the court will do. But you see, they say, my people say that it is from how the morning is that you will know how the evening will be. We can see how our morning has been in the judiciary, that the court could not properly dispense of a case that arose in 2023. The Labour Party case, the Labour Party and Peter Obi's case that came up in 2023, questioning the 2023 election, has not been fully and properly dispensed with. So what is now the fate of a case that arose in 2019? So these are the obvious metrics by which we will be judging these cases with. We see a judiciary that is highly polarized with corruption, bribery, and a lot of unwanted, stories or wanton stories coming out from the courts, from the judiciary. Are we expecting this judiciary to overturn a 2019 election for which Muhammadu Buhari has already exhausted the 4 years tenure, and we have now seen another election and the swearing in of Bola Tinubu? We can be real to ourselves. I don't see anything productive coming from it. It may just make the headlines and all, but I don't see the court overturning 2019 election, giving this chief the opportunity to be president and removing Bola Tinubu. If they are not owners, the judiciary did not have the guts to remove Bola Tinubu, irrespective of the criminal records that are linked with him, the case of $460,000 for forfeiture, the case of certificate forgery, the case of perjury, and many other cases, the case of double nomination with Kashim Shettima. The court refused to even look into these allegations, refused to rule on it, and went ahead to affirm Bola Tinubu. Are we expecting the same court to now remove Bola Tinubu because somebody is still aggrieved with 2019 elections? These are not realistic. These are not realistic. We do not have, what we are saying is that in Nigeria, our courts are not activism courts. Our courts do not go into the business of activating our laws as they should be to foster our democracy. No, we see status quo judges, status quo justices that only want to remain with the status quo that is so corrupt and polarized with bribery and intimidation and many more. So that these are the realities surrounding this particular case.
Yes, I believe you, UC Maxwell. Now, still on the issue of Supreme Court, let me take it further to what was breaking today. That Supreme Court, in the case of Ihedioha and what is the APC current governor, what is the name? Uzodimma. So I got a breaking news that report that the Supreme Court has thrown Ihedioha's case out. I don't know if you are aware of the what the decision of the Supreme Court is, or or what that case was about, because Ihedioha had pursued that matter vigorously since that time he was removed and replaced him with Ihedioha. Hope also the muscle.
These are still in connection with what I said earlier, Mr. Kanu. A case that is still before the court, and Hope Uzodinma has finished his first tenure. Is it not so, Mr. Kanu?
Yes,
An election was just held in Imo. An election was just held in Imo State, where he was declared winner, for which, you know, all the parties involved, or some of the parties involved in the elections, went to court to question the election, and he's still there as governor of Imo State. And Ihedioha's case of a previous election is still pending in our courts. This shows the ineptitude of our judicial system. This shows that these people are not committed to justice. They are not committed to dispensing of issues that are before them to foster our democracy. Because it is unheard of. If the court did not throw away this case, Mr. Kanu, I want to ask you a rhetorical question. I want to ask the audience. Ponder on it. If the court had given judgment in favor of Ihedioha, what would have happened to the 4 years for which Hope Uzodinma was governor of the state? Would he return the monies he has received as salaries? Would he return the monies he has received in allowances? Will he turn back all the bad governances, bad policies that he has already put into Imo State as it stands currently? These are not feasible. These are not realistic. They're not realistic. I did not expect the court to give anything other than that. Not because the case is not justiciable or because the case does not hold water, but because the judicial system does not have the guts. They are not ready. I keep on emphasizing on the statements of Dati Baba Ahmed, where he said that the judiciary is one of the most undemocratical institutions in Nigeria. That an institution so independent, an arm of government that is at par with other arms of government, that should be independent, free of coercion, free of intimidation, free of bribery, free of corruption, can be so caught in the web of corruption and fraud in this manner. What are we expecting from them? Nothing more. We are already seeing, like you made mention of, I saw the pictures earlier today, I made comments about it, that we have the lead. Come on. I hope you know that the office of the Chief Justice of Nigeria is likened to the office of the President of Nigeria. While one is the leader of the executive arm of government, the other is the leader of the judicial arm of government. Now we see an arm of a government that is supposed to be sacred, that is supposed to be respected. Judges in time past were not seen in political events of such nature. They were not seen in the public with politicians. They were not seen rigmaroling, bedrolling with these people. But we see the Chief Justice shaking hands, bowing down to these people. I want to remind you, Mr. Kanu, you remember the man that was threatening the people who are taking his case to court. The APC man who was saying that they will know who we know and we will know who they know. That they know who they know. And these are the things. It's the same APC telling you that they know the Chief Justice of Nigeria, that they know the judiciary, and they know their way around it and how to get perverted justice from these institutions. It is clear and obvious. So I feel like, in fact, for Ihedioha, it's unfortunate that he is a victim of these kinds of circumstances, but it is our current situation. That is why we must continue to speak against it and not to deflect. A lot of people are already deflecting. People who spoke against these ills before are already deflecting because of personal gains and, you know, other things. So those are the things.
Okay, thank you, Maxwell. We'll come back to you shortly, but let's get back to studio. And we are going to the next thing. For the thing coming from the Supreme Court on Tinubu, we'll watch and see how they go through that very rigmarole again and see if a miracle will happen in the Supreme Court. But as we know, the CJN is purely APC. Clearly, we can see that in Nigeria. And we wish that people who are in different places can continue talking about this, just as Chidi Kalu is talking. So let's get back to other things that we have on our table this evening. We have the drone strike misfire in Kaduna State. And so, Angel, like you emphasized on your intro about what is in the bush that has to do with the terrorists, and then the town where, I mean, they said hundreds of people have been killed.
126.
So, 126, although they reported, I think, 80 something. But anyway, the important thing is, how would such a mistake come out from the military that they are so equipped? I mean, in our budget, they are going with billions that are not even questioned. Why would such casualty happen, and why nobody is taking a fall for this?
The thing is so disheartening, so breaking. That is, it breaks my heart, because Tinubu APC government, even from Buhari government, their body language, their attitude, whenever there is any casualties in Nigeria, they will be as if those things are not human beings. They will just feel reluctant. They will just feel like it doesn't concern me. Because these people are human beings. They are your citizens. Nigerian army are meant to protect these lives. But they are the people killing these people. Does it make sense? Whether by mistake or by not mistake, is not supposed to be heard.
A mistake is not even supposed to happen.
It's not supposed. They are supposed to protect these lives.
Yeah, exactly. So, Princess, what do you have? I see say your mother do me since.
Like, when I even heard the news, I was disheartened by the news, because it doesn't make any sense saying that a trained, like, are they not trained? Because if these people are trained, they should know when informations get to you, you verify them before you carry out actions. So you cannot get information like they were saying that they got some information about bandits doing some things around the area and they acted on it. How can you act on something you have not verified on? Are you amateurs? Do you understand? This is not an act of a trained personnel or trained personnel that's supposed to know their core, like they're supposed to know everything to the tip of their fingers. Do you understand? So this is not, and now such a thing is happening and nothing is going on. There is arrogant silence is what's going on right now. They are not compensating the families of these people that have been bereaved of their loved ones. Nothing has gone down. Just like you mentioned earlier, in a civilized society, the flag should be half-mast right now. Mourning this, there should be national mourning declared in Nigeria right now, because this is not like an house. We are literally cleaning ourselves right now. They're literally cleaning us. So if we are cleaning ourselves, what are we going to do when others come to kill us?
Yeah.
And another thing I just remembered is if our military has been this up and doing, I don't think we still have Boko Haram.
Exactly.
Because they know where Boko Haram resides. They know. So why haven't they gone there to strike?
Okay, let's get, you see Maxwell, let's get your take on this. But before we do take your take on this, let's see what the tweet that our own His Excellency Peter Obi had on this and what he has to say about this. Then we can come back to you. So let's start with what His Excellency Peter Obi said. He said, I read with sadness the devastating report of the accidental bombing of Tudumbiri village in the Gabi local government area of Kaduna State by a Nigerian army craft that mistook villagers for terrorists. The lethal incident left death toll reported to have risen to 80 persons, with several others injured, while our military continues to fight impressively against insecurity in many parts of the country. They must exercise utmost caution and professionalism to avoid this kind of embarrassment to both the military and the country. Any incident that leads to harm or loss of lives of the innocent people they are meant to protect should be avoided. Even though the mishap is one too many, the security agency should work with reliable human intelligence reports on ground before any offensive attack to avoid innocent casualties, as has reported in this case. Fatal mistakes like this leaves indelible trauma on the families who have lost their loved ones to this ugly and unfortunate mishap. I sincerely commiserate with families that lost their loved ones. And to the dead, I pray God Almighty to forgive their sins and grant them eternal rest. And quick healing to the injured. We pray a mistake leading to a sorrowful outcome as this never happens again in our country. It is regrettable that the problem of insecurity in our nation has persisted for so long that we are now paying such unintended human costs as collateral damage. Signed, P2B, known as PO on tweet. Of course, you can see the reactions of the people there. We have Miss Pearls who said the real president has spoken. The mannequin of Aso Rock is still gallivanting from Dubai. May the souls of the departed rest in peace. We can go on and on and on and what people say about this. You see Maxwell, I want to specifically ask you, there is rumors going around that the person who ordered for this very drone strike is actually one Major Okoro or something like that. I don't know if you ascribe or you know the details of this, that another Igbo man, as they said, that is P2B's brother, has killed Muslims. They are trying to position another war in the north between the east and the north, and the Muslims and Christians. Please, what do you have to say about this?
Okay. You see, Mr. Kanu, I would come at this from two different angles. I'll come from the last angle you asked me about the obvious attempt to twist the issues, and then I will come at it later on the unprofessional conduct of the Nigerian Army or the Nigerian Air Force or the Nigerian Armed Forces, which we've seen over the years and even in recent times. You see, the person who was claimed one Major General Valentine Okoro, who was claimed to have issued the order, as it stands today and as I speak to you, there is no affirmation, there is no confirmation that he issued any order. In fact, I can tell you for free that he did not issue the order. He was part of a meeting, according to reports. He was part of a meeting where he spoke on the issues, admitting that the Nigerian army had bombed a location where civilians were, and that indeed there were casualties in it. So, but mischief makers and people who are only interested in making sure that we continue to fight wars and have disputes in Nigeria are trying to twist the issues about the tribe of this man, where he comes from, and that he ordered an attack with Nigerian apparatus. But these are blatant lies, and I condemn it in totality. You see, Mr. Kanu, we've had over between 8 to 12 or over 12 of such incidences in Nigeria, where we've seen either the Nigerian army attack either on ground through shooting, or the Nigerian Air Force, through bombs or airstrikes on civilian territory, which has led to the killing of Nigerian citizens. We've seen it in Benue State, we've seen it in, I think, Nasarawa State, we've seen it in Borno State, Maiduguri, we've seen it in Yobe State, we've seen it in a lot of places in Nigeria. And in all of this time that these things have happened, nobody has linked it to a particular tribe or to a particular region. So it begins to beat me, and I begin to wonder, why is there now a calculated attempt to paint the Igbos as the people who are carrying out these actions? But then, like I said, these are only attempts of mischief makers to, create more problems in Nigeria. Coming to talk about the Nigerian military and their pattern of operation, or the Nigerian Air Force. Like I told you, these are unprofessional conduct of not just the Air Force, but the entire armed forces in Nigeria. We see this unprofessionality in the ways and manners that they carry out their activities. I'll give you an example. We see how the police treat humans, how they treat people when they engage with people. Now, the police are not carrying out airstrikes from distance height in the sky. They are seeing civilians. They see civilians not holding guns. Look at the NSAS protest, where we saw military men, police officers, shooting at innocent civilians who are just holding flags. So why do we think that, this unprofessionality should continue in a time as this? Coming to the issue surrounding this particular one that's happened in Kaduna State, Mr. Kanu, you see, except we want to be serious as a country, we will continue to get it wrong. You want to agree with me that somebody operated the drone machine, somebody flew the ship that dropped that airstrike or that missile on that location. Have you seen the name of the person in any media house, Mr. Kanu? Have you seen the person's name published? Have you seen the picture of this particular member of the armed forces? Somebody issued the order for the airstrike. Have you seen the person? Nobody has been spoken about. Nobody has been brought to book that this is the person that issued the airstrike. Somebody provided the coordinates. Now, when you are to go on airstrikes, you are provided with coordinates where you need to offload your payload, where you need to offload your missiles. Who provided the coordinates? You remember the case of the Nigerian flight that was supposed to be headed to Abuja but landed in Delta State and told the people that they've landed in Abuja because of wrong flight coordinates. Do we know? We need explanations. Is it somebody that gave wrong coordinates of where the bandits are? Or did the military, did the Air Force get wrong intelligence as to the location of bandits and the location of these insurgents? You see, there are several questions that have been left unanswered, and it becomes relevant for the top men at the hierarchy to be held responsible. We have the Chief of Armed Forces, the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, Bola Tinubu, as selected. We have the Chief of Army Staff. We have the Chief of Air Staff. Nobody is explaining anything. Nobody is giving any narrative. Nobody is being sacked. Nobody is being questioned. Nobody is being probed. Nobody is going to prison. But we have over, as of the time Peter Obi wrote that piece, he said it's something. But as of now, as we speak, there are reports that it's over 120 lives that have been lost because of unprofessionality and wrong information from the Nigerian military. And the fact that these things is a recurrent thing gives me worry, Mr. Kanu. I told you that this is like more than 12 times that this has happened in Nigeria. I'm not keeping records. And all of these times, nothing happened. When these things were happening during the time of Muhammadu Buhari, nobody was sacked. We told several people called for the sack of the leaders of the armed forces and many others. Absolutely nothing happened. Till today, we are still experiencing the same things. It's actually unfortunate. Actually
mentioning that a video of what the military spoke about this, and when you see the military talking about it, you will not see remorse on their faces. You will not see apologetic gestures from them. And let's take a look or listen to what they have to say on this. We'll come back.
December 2023, while the Nigerian Army UAV platforms were conducting armed reconnaissance around the vicinity of Riawa, Ruma, the drone observed the movement of people suspected to be bandits, and having trailed them for some time, a decision was taken to conduct a strike based on the observation of some tactics usually employed by bandits. Unfortunately, the reports we got thereafter revealed that it was innocent civilians that the drone conducted a strike on. And so, with the reports emerging, I feel it is very essential to come physically to the ground, first to commiserate with the people of Tudumbiri that suffered the unfortunate incident of the Nigerian Army drone strike on the 3rd of December 2023, leading to loss of lives. And secondly, having assessed the situation on the ground myself, to be able to determine the kind of inquiry that will be conducted by the Nigerian Army. to forestall reoccurrence of this kind of unfortunate incident going forward. And also to look around this community and even extending beyond to be able to determine the kind of operations we need to conduct going forward. And that is the sole purpose of coming here this day.
Okay, so Mr. President has directed that
it's already set up an inquiry, but coming here on the ground, it has given me an idea of the kind of expertise we need to bring onto the committee that is conducting the inquiry for us to have an holistic view and to be able to law-abiding citizens. More so that the unfortunate incident that happened on Sunday occur as a result of error on the part of Nigerian Army personnel. So we are ready to take responsibility for the medical bills of those ones in the hospital and also provide other support to the entire community so that they can live their life more worthwhile.
As we have heard from the heads of the military, what they are spoken. So Maxwell, come in, please. Just for 60 seconds, can you tell us if there is any regrets that are coming out from the ministry? Have they shown anything to Nigerians to say since 3 days that these things have happened, that somebody has actually taken responsibility for this very unfortunate incident?
Mr. Kanu, what we see here is that it is no longer in doubt that this was the fault of operatives of the Nigerian army. It is no longer in doubt. So we can see the people who, the chief of army staff, who went to the place of the incidents and confirmed that they have taken a view of everything and that they are accepting responsibility for the events. You see, Mr. Kanu, I don't know what people consider as responsibility in Nigeria. We need to be asking questions. We have a Minister of Defense, Mr. Kanu, don't we? We have a Minister of Defense in the person of Muhammad Badaru Abubakar. As the Minister of Defense, what is he doing about this? He should be removed from office. We've lost for the Nigerian army that is meant to defend the people to be costing us over 120 lives by sheer unprofessionality, Mr. Kanu. The Minister of Defense should no longer be in office. The Chief of Army Staff should no longer be in office, except we are getting cogent explanations. They are telling us, like I made mention the last time, Mr. Kanu, the people who flew that drone, we need to bring them for questioning what happened. The person who gave the order, who provided the coordinates, all of these people, the commanding officer of that, the general commanding officer of that particular division, they should all be brought to answer questions, probed, prosecuted, and made to leave office. We cannot continue like this. Why I am sounding so stern like this, Mr. Kanu, is the fact that this is a recurring event in Nigeria and nobody bears the brunt for it. Absolutely no one. It happens, they give statements, and we move on. Nigerians' lives are wasted by the military. So the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, Bola Tinubu, should be explaining to Nigerians why we have lost 120-something people. Muhammad Badaru Abubakar should explain to, in fact, he should leave office, the Minister of Defense, the Chief of Army Staff should leave office, each and every one of them, and we should get cogent explanations and a probe into all of this.
Yes, Maxwell, thank you very much for being with us today and analyzing all of this. I share your view on the minister taking leave of his office. That is what we get from the sane society where things work. They should take this. So thank you very much for joining us today. So coming back to studio, Angel, last time that something like that has to concern the army and the military happened, David Hundeyin, the investigative journalist, was able to explain even what happened, that everybody was calling for his head, you know. And At the end of the day, we found out that Nigerian military personnel lost their lives because somebody provided information unintelligently or coordinates of what shouldn't be. The same thing like what this man talked about, they were flying drone and to survey where terrorists are. Are you telling me that using drone, they were not able to see that these are not people carrying arms? Don't the drone actually see that these are civilians without guns?
The problem in Nigeria is that their investigation never come to light. They will never tell you, oh, this is what we found out from the investigation. And nobody has ever been punished. The first one, nobody was ever punished. This one, nobody is. You see this case now, we will not hear about it after this week. And what is paining me where we're now be say, if to say these people will die, na Tinubu or Shetima children or relative, we go still they talk this English way we they talk now. Now be the thing where they bother me. We go still they speak English. I be people for don't dey prison. Some people for don't resign. They don't sack so many. But because na ordinary masses, ordinary Nigerians, their life no matter now. Waiting consign them. They no suppose do anything. Na common masses.
Yeah. It's
the same blood. No difference.
Yeah.
Whether rich or poor.
Angel,
it's very painful.
Just like you said, it is not something that concerns them. They are seeing those people as alamajiris, you understand me?
They even value cows more than those people. They just
and I think that the northern elders and the northerners should speak up, you understand? Because these are their children. These are people who believe that this Nigerian army are, to protect them. So, Princess, a very quick one on that. I see your mother do more since.
Yes, it's sad that instead of them condemning the incompetence that bettered this act in the first place, they are just trying to blame it on tribal nonsense and all. This is, people literally died. Like, where is their humanity in the first place? I don't understand how they are trying to now say it's Okoro that did this, Okoro did that. Why are you not talking about the people that carried out the act? Those drones work on their own. Human beings were the ones that were operating the drones. And before you click fire or something, you should have been able to confirm the targets before you fire. So these things are what they should be looking at, and they are blaming it on things that doesn't matter. And that is the sad reality that we are in right now. Yes,
sad reality. So our people, wherever on a day, on a don't hear them, I'm not be say, as in the talk it go be like say then they chase terrorists for inside bush. This one where happen now, no be inside bush. Now it happen. This one happen for village, and then we no hear say then kill one terrorist or then kill two terrorists. We no hear anything concerning terrorists. For instance, it means say terrorists not even there that village where them bomb. Yet people are keeping quiet. Those lives does not matter. Is that what the people of Kaduna State are telling me? Are they telling me that they can't speak up? And the so-called president cannot address people on this? Anyway, let's take a listen to what our own comrade Aisha spoke about. Same issue. Let's take her own video on that. Credit to her.
I'm sure by now you've heard the tragic tale of the village that was bombed in Kaduna by military. They say they mistakenly bombed the village, and 120 people died, men, women, children, and all of that. I saw a video of someone who was recounting, an eyewitness, that were part of those who went to get the bodies. He said the bombs fell to they were bombed more than once. I think he said twice, that the first bombing happened and then they were trying to now get the corpses together and everything, and then so those people were also bombed again. So the people who had gone to help were also now became victims. That, when he was recounting the story, it's just so sad how everywhere was sort of like shattered. people's flesh all over the place. He even said he got home and then found human flesh, in his boot, and he was like, oh, if he had that, he was so traumatized that he wouldn't have even gone to, if he had known, he wouldn't have gone to the place or even tried to help. The person who, because the video was in Hausa, the person who was interviewing him was now asking, and he said, oh, why didn't you people, do you have any pictures, or did you take any, do you have videos of the particular thing? He was like, that they in the village, they don't have all of these kind of smartphones that you can use for that. They normally use just the basic phone because there's usually no electricity apart from the expense to charge it and all of that. So they use for their own. It's more important to do because that he doesn't have a picture or anything that he doesn't know whether anyone would. The first time when because I saw that news breaking in the morning, I just tuned out. Because I just mentally could not deal with the issue. Because sometimes it's as if when things the same thing keep happening, repeating themselves, you're wondering, what's this all about? Okay, this mistake, what has been done about the mistakes that had happened before? What are the things that were learned from those mistakes so that those mistakes don't happen again? Why is this mistake only on the poor and the helpless? The question I want to ask the military is this: are these really mistakes or are they target practice? Because I don't understand. When something is a mistake, right, you make efforts to learn from that mistake and ensure it never happens again. That is not the case here. Almost nothing is, we can't see anything that is being done to learn from the mistake and prevent it from ever happening. Just let me read that. Between 2017, and this from Reno Oduala at Savvy Reno on X, a post she did. I was going to say, okay, let me go and even research and put together, the number of all of these mistakes that had happened, because I knew over the years we've had quite a number. And then I saw her doing this and it was like, okay, she said, save me all that trouble of going to go and find these numbers. Between 2017 and now, there have been 16 reported mistake bombings by the Nigerian Army and Air Force. January 2017, there was an airstrike on a village near Bama, Borno State. 17 were killed. March 2017, airstrike on a village near Bama, Borno State. Oh no, sorry, I mixed it up. Let me start again. The one of January 2017, airstrike on a refugee camp in Ran, Borno State. 23 were killed. March 2017, airstrike on a village near Bama, Borno State. 17 killed. September 2017, airstrike on a village near Kalabalgi. Airstrike on a village near Kalabalgi, Borno State. 55 killed. The same year. January 2018, airstrike on a village near Aunu, Borno State. 48 killed. March 2018, airstrike on a village near Ran, Borno State. 30 killed. February 2019, airstrike on a village near Mariti, Borno State. 13 killed. April 2019, airstrike on a village near Tangaram, Zamfara State. 1 killed. February 2020, airstrike on a village near the border with Niger Republic. 7 killed. April 2020, airstrike on a village near Damboa, Borno State. 17 killed. September 2021, airstrike on a village near Yunusari, Yobe State. 10 killed. June 2021, airstrike on a wedding party near Genu, Niger State. 20 killed. September 2021, airstrike on community in the Lake Chad region. 22 killed. February 2022, airstrike on a village.
My people, una don see am, APC government feel less concerned about 126 lives lost. They don't even care. They are there gallivanting in Dubai. It doesn't make sense. Because if it's to be their children, I know that Nigeria will be turned upside down. Like, share, subscribe, my people. We appreciate you. Maxwell, God bless you for staying with us. Like, share, subscribe. Make all the obedience they hear waiting APC they turn masses into. We appreciate you now. We love you, but God loves you more. Bye for now.